All right.
And today we have a very special guest. So if you'd like to introduce him, Nick.
Yes, we have the internet famous games journalist and comedian Kevin Podas of Thought Cops, the podcast, Nintendo Life, the publication, and Hard Drive, the comedy publication. He's a very
Wow,
uh,
I've never been introduced with so many credits before, so thank you so much. All that hard work is finally paying off.
Yeah,
it's
really
well
doing
worth
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've earned it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
I was thinking who would be the perfect first guest, and I thought probably the guy who says a lot of the things that I agree with and likes the things that I like. I want to minimize.
So you just want to be in a little echo chamber, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
who's better, Tagoro or Sensui? We might have butt heads on that, but we'll get there when we get there.
Ooh, that is a very very tough question. But actually, I wish I could show you all these. But I bought these at the store the other day. They had these like blind boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Crowd pleaser.
That's me. That is me in real life right there.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I got Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kurama, Hiei, and of course Koenma.
Very nice. The baby or adult? Oh, perfect.
It's
Yeah.
the adult version. And then they also
Right.
throw in a Yoko Kurama too. So
Very nice.
You gotta have it all. Yeah. Well,
I like
today.
toys.
Yeah, for sure. Today we'll be kind of covering the Nintendo Direct from last week, and then
Discuss,
kind of just
yeah.
talking about RPGs after that. But
And the bet.
yeah, to begin, and the bet. Yes, we make wagers, and I lost.
Yes.
Oh wow!
So-
Was it over the direct or something?
Well, before there was a direct, I said, listen, I have a pretty good idea for what I want to torment you with, so I'm going to make a pretty wild bet just because it's probably not going to happen. But I said, I think there's going to be a direct announced before the time we record, and then they announced it the next day. So he has to do whatever I ask him to, essentially.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I won the previous wager, and I made him experience the joys of Fortnite
Yeah.
for the first time.
Kind of a waste.
So that was.
Oh yeah. What did you think of it? I've actually never played it myself, so
It's
Okay, yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know, like Dora the Explorer for a teenager. Just constant barrage of instructions and colors and numbers going up. Like, oh, you unlocked Yoshi. Watch, you gotta feed your Yoshi dinosaur. He's getting hungry. Oh, you gotta level up. You got a field note. Great job. You got more experience. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps telling me what a good job I'm doing and what a good boy I am.
and that's a great feeling. Yeah.
It's a super concentrated dopamine rush.
I did not like it.
Hitting your receptors. Yeah, so probably not going back to that.
Worth
But
a shot. Worth a shot.
and it was certainly, I tried to coerce him with oh, I'll get you the Ash Williams skin, I'll get you Chris Redfield or Leon, but
Yeah.
It's like, we thought we had it good with Smash Bros, and then Fortnite has fucking everything you could possibly think of. Though
Totally, yeah.
perhaps too much.
I would say,
I think so, yeah.
maybe if they add Sephiroth, I'll give it a second chance. But until that day comes,
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, really.
It truly is. It truly, truly is. But yeah, on the 21st of June, Nintendo had their direct for the summer. It was about 40 minutes of a lot of announcements. And I got, Nick has his curated picks, and then I also have some that we'll talk about after, just because I feel like they're worth bringing up. But yeah, to begin with, I think it's nice that, compared to other publishers' directs, Nintendo consistently is able to deliver with release dates. They don't introduce something
Yeah.
months and months or years ahead, right? It's oh, this is actually coming out towards the end of the year.
That's
Super nice.
something I was thinking about because I've noticed. Because I remember when I was a kid, and maybe just because time seemed longer when I was a kid, but I feel like they would announce stuff sometimes years ahead of time. I remember Zelda 64 was a completely different looking game when they first showed
No,
it.
yeah.
When the N64 was coming out, and then it didn't end up coming out for years later. And I feel like a lot of games were like that back then, and now it's everybody's I wonder what they're going. Obviously they're working on something. What's it going to be? And then it's always oh, here it is. It's coming out in 2 or 3 months. So you never have to wait
Yeah.
very long, but you are kept in the dark for a while, wondering what it could possibly be.
yeah, they definitely play things a
Yeah,
lot closer to the chest than anyone else.
Which is good and
Which
bad.
I
I mean,
appreciate.
To be fair, those Tears of the Kingdom was like what announced 5 years before it came out, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, they were just following the same protocol they did with Breath of the Wild, release it. I guess the one thing that's shocking is they didn't wait for the Switch 2 or Switch Pro this time.
yeah, I was half expecting that, but I think I'm happy to get it now than later.
Yeah, it's still chugging
There was a lot
along.
of buzz before the game came out. Like, oh, is Nintendo going to announce this new hardware? And then they announced the Switch OLED. I was like, okay, well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I ended up like I remember when they announced that I'm like I'm not gonna get that, but like the last few months my Switch is like I don't know what happened with the fan, but it's been like crazy loud.
Just
And then
super.
once I started playing Zelda, it was like I could not even play it in handheld because the thing was vibrating and screaming so
shit.
loudly. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I guess I got to replace this thing, and I'm like, might as well get the OLED. So I ended up getting that
Yeah.
like Zelda OLED model, and I'm like, I'm pretty happy with it because like I do like to lay in bed and play sometimes when I'm too lazy to sit up straight and play a video game. So it's nice to, it's super if you're playing handheld, it's worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
I used to do that.
Increased
I can't really anymore. I got the
I
the
guess
Steam
the
Deck, so
first week we
drop
got-
that on my head, I'll die immediately.
Seriously.
Things big.
First pick from Nick, we got Dragon Quest Monsters.
That's right. About time.
Subtitle about the Dark Prince of Social.
Yeah, it's almost definitely a Dragon Quest IV spinoff, I would say. It looks like you
Yeah,
are
seems like it.
definitely playing as Pissarro the Manslayer in his pre manslaying days.
Was he? My brother was telling me this. I don't know if it's true or if he was fucking pulling my leg or something, but he was telling me that Sephiroth is based off that character.
I would say
Could be
so.
wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they both have silver hair. They both are attuned with the earth. They think humans are evil. They think that like the creatures of the world deserve the earth, and that humanity is like a plague that needs to be eradicated. They have the same kind of goal.
Kind of dropping some serious points though. Actually, when you think about it, you're kind of like,
You're right. We should
he's right.
Yeah.
we should die.
Yeah.
You know what? I look outside. I see this verdant green, and I say I should kill myself.
Just think
Let's
about
give
it.
it back. Let's give it back.
Consider
Yeah.
it. That's all they're asking.
I mean, at the end of the day, I have a Sephiroth figure, not a Cloud figure, so I got to prove my loyalty.
There you go.
There you go, right?
Much cooler. Much cooler.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like it was. Yeah, because I haven't played. I've only played. I played Dragon Quest 1, 3, and 11, and I would like to play them all. It's just hard to find the time and find the games and stuff like to hunt them down. But I know they're on the phone, but I'm kind of like lazy to play on there.
Yeah, no, I
Lazy,
hear
but I'm
that.
just kind of like I feel like if there's gonna be a better way to play it, and I continue to wait, and then it never happens. But
Yeah.
I'm
Just
familiar.
wait for that collection, you know?
I know it's got to happen at some point, probably. But then, yeah, I saw at the end of the trailer the hero shows up. So
Yes, Hero from Smash Brothers. I'm sure you remember.
yes, just capital
yes.
H hero.
Yusha in Nihon, as they call him.
What was that?
Okay.
Am I glitching out?
No, I just
hear you.
Okay, on my end, it looks like I'm moving at 1 frame a second. Okay, no. It's just they call him the Yusha. But anyways, yeah, Dragon Quest is personally, I think, a great series. I'm shocked that you played 1 and you decided to keep playing because I cannot stand Dragon Quest 1. It is so slow. It's the same problem with
I played that. What was the one they put on Switch? Like it was like the not enhanced.
The,
remaster. It was like
the 1, 2, 3 pack or whatever.
yeah. I played it in there, and actually, to be honest, I liked it. It was a fun. Like I was surprised at how well it seemed to hold up. I could play the whole game in a single weekend.
Yes,
I don't know,
That's
just
nice.
it's very
you
fast,
know, yeah.
but 3
Fun,
is...
digestible JRPG. Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Quest I feel is one of those series that's kind of spread out on lots of different hardware as well.
Yeah, big.
And then 10 is an MMO, so it's like, how are we gonna, experience that in the West?
Probably not. Probably never.
Probably never, unless
Yeah.
some kind of hero translator comes around. Yeah.
I think that actually did just happen. I think someone did just translate it, and like the first expansion, some hero, as you said, some visionary.
That was a Wii game, right?
Yeah, it started on the Wii.
Okay.
That's nuts.
That
I
is
can't
crazy.
imagine
Yeah, Dragon Quest
playing an
MMO on the Wii.
RPG, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what, people still like Phantasy Star Online, right? Do people still play that? Can you still play that on Dreamcast?
Oh yeah. They got a what is the server called? It's some kind of blue is like the subtitle of whatever modern server PSO is on these days. But classic. Okay. Any closing thoughts on Dragon Quest Monsters from either of you?
Oh, Pokemon is constantly disappointing, so I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest Monsters finally stepping up and taking the reins and sitting on the throne where it belongs, to be honest.
Yeah, I never played the Monsters games. I remember them when I was a kid, because like when I was a kid, that I thought it was just like another Pokemon thing, because I remember seeing the advertisements in Nintendo Power for Dragon Quest Monsters. So I thought it was another you
Mm-hmm.
collect monsters, you battle them, which is true. But then I didn't realize that like it predated Pokemon by quite a while. So
Oh, I
I don't
didn't
know
know
about the
that.
spin-off, but Dragon Quest in general, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, step aside, Ken Sugimori. Kira Toriyama, he's got the good designs.
Nick's second pick from the show was the Star Ocean remake, or Star Ocean 2 remake, I believe.
Yeah,
It's looking nice, kind of 2D HD art style.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was that one. Yeah.
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 Same as the Live Alive remake.
Are you familiar with Star Ocean as a franchise, or is that
Uh,
one that you never really?
Not at
complimented?
all, actually. Not at all. I just speak. I know we're going to talk RPGs at some point, but like speaking of like HD 2D, like I'm actually in the middle of playing Live Alive right now, or Live Alive.
there you
Very
go.
nice.
Yeah.
Playing that. Actually, right before this call, I just put it on pause um, to come here. So yeah, I'm loving it so far.
Nice.
And I like the 2D or the HD 2D style. I know it's got
Yeah.
like I think like I feel like after this new game they announced, I think now people are like, this is ugly.
Yes,
Which,
people are
like,
turning on it.
I think it's just because they're doing it too much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
It's
like
a saturation thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's something everybody liked it at first, and then all of a sudden now it's like they're doing it again and again and again. But it's like I like it. It works, you know. It's like if you're gonna bring a classic RPG remake to the present, it's like, would you rather have this or like some like I don't know, some messy 3D
Yeah.
thing of it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only a matter of time. I feel like until we get Chrono Trigger, and that's like I think that's gonna be.
Oh
really
yeah.
cool if we end up
Yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah. And they would have to keep that 2D
Right.
HD look. If they went full 3D, that would be
Yeah.
blasphemy. Yeah.
It'd be really
I'd love to
funny.
see something maybe like a Dragon Quest 11 or something, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
I think purists would want the
yeah,
perspective to be the same and everything. Yeah.
I think it'd be very funny if they
Yeah,
ended up.
Star Ocean.
Oh my god, I'm like living in a parallel universe.
Go for it. Go for it.
It doesn't
Very
matter.
Funny if.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Chrono Cross. Who cares? Let's just keep going.
Hey, Chrono Cross is great as well.
Chrono Cross
Yeah,
melted my
Ocean.
fucking brain.
Yeah. Oh, and then as far as release dates go, Dragon Quest is coming out December this year, and then Star Ocean will be November this year. So
when,
Things to
I
look
was
forward to.
surprised we didn't see anything from that Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake.
I know they announced it so long ago, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I love Dragon Quest 3. I'm sold.
they just want to, give everything enough space, enough time in the spotlight.
But then
Perhaps.
they're tossing us new stuff now. Here's Star Ocean. Here's fucking Octopath, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give
yeah, yeah.
what you promised us, and nobody gets hurt.
Exactly. I want the old shit. Keep the new shit away from me. I want to relive the same games forever, and I don't want to play any of these new ones. I just want the old
That's so
games
much to ask.
with a new coat of paint. I want to see the things that made me smile when I was a kid.
I mean, that is kind of like a lot of what's happening right now. It feels like a lot of the biggest releases now, like most of them are remakes. Like everybody was like, oh, the remake. I know it's a remake, but Resident Evil 4 remake is really good, which I'm sure it is. I haven't played it yet. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
it
like
is.
they're hitting the remake, the big remakes, and those are the ones that do end up getting the most buzz. Like it's just like it kind of sucks that it works, but it's also like I'm not complaining about it either. It's cool to go back to the fresh coat of paint, modern updates, quality of life, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, it does kind of feel like pandering to nostalgia, but
A little
yeah.
bit.
You
Hey.
can't complain, right? When you're a fan, it's like this is still good. I'm still eating well. Yeah.
Yeah, Resident
Well,
Evil's
it's
fine.
Keep remaking those. Yeah.
That's fine. They can stop now, though. I don't need a Resident Evil 5 remake. It can be forgotten.
Might get kind of dicey.
Yeah, I'm seeing people clamoring like, okay, well, where's the? I want to see Sheva in the RE engine. Like, do you really? Would you enjoy that? Do you remember RE5?
Maybe they're just gonna go straight to 7.
That'd be fine.
Maybe.
Or maybe they can make a new game.
They can do 9.
Yeah.
They should remake it before they make it.
I'm wondering how they could like horn in the IX into the logo.
Oh yeah. You know, you have the residents, the I in resident, and then you just like, I don't know, highlight certain parts of letters to make.
Yeah, they're good at it. They can figure it out.
Geniuses are on it as we speak.
The top minds at Capcom are working, slaving away day and night.
Top men.
Next pick from Nick was the WarioWare. I think Move It is the subtitle.
Yeah, you know, I like Shake It. And he was wearing the Wario Land hat, so I was like, oh my god, Wario Land remake. And it was like, WarioWare new. I was like, oh, fuck, fine. I mean, I'll get it. It's Wario, but Jesus Christ, man, don't do that to me.
I could have sworn there was a Move It already, but I guess not.
That was a Shake It.
I may very well be wrong.
What, is that the one on the Wii? Shake It?
That was the Wii Wario Land that bombed, and they were like, well, everyone hates Wario Land. We should never make Wario Land again.
Yeah, it just wrong place, wrong time, I think. But what was the Wii WarioWare called?
Smooth Moves.
Smooth Moves. Yeah, see, that was pretty fun, honestly. I remember
that was good.
Like a little bit like after the Wii came out and like playing it with my friends and like having a blast before everybody was like got sick of the whole waggle thing.
Yeah,
but
I can't.
I think for WarioWare it works, you know.
I think it was perfect because at the time the only party games were like WarioWare Smooth Moves, Raving Rabbids, and like Boom Blocks or something.
Yeah.
So out of the three, it was the obvious winner.
Yeah, this one's looking really good. Coming out as well in November this year. It's got 4-player kind of like party multiplayer modes, and then you can play 2-player co-op for some of the micro games.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I might get that one.
It'd be great. I can't wait to have people over and make them play it.
Yeah.
What was did you guys get the other one on Switch? I already forget what the hell it was called.
Get It Together.
Yeah, Get It Together. Yeah.
Yeah. Mario expert over here.
Yeah, funny enough, I have it, and I have never once opened it, but I bet it's great. I bet it's one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like it's one of those things where I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like I think it's like the divide of like how there used to be like, okay, this is obviously a console game, this is obviously a handheld game, and then when you put the Switch in there, it's got the console and the hybrid handheld thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the smaller experiences feel like you play them on a Switch on a big TV, and I'm like, you kind of like think, I feel like I should be getting more out of this.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's also exactly what it's supposed to be. Like it's a great It's one of the best WarioWare games there is. But there's still a part of me when I was playing it where I was like, this feels like, I don't know. It's like not a as robust an experience because you're playing it.
There's some missing link. Yeah.
Like a Breath of the Wild on or something. It's like this is the same. This is almost the same price. Same system.
Yeah.
It's like your head, man.
Yeah, with all the DS remakes, especially like the Phoenix Wright and the Ghost Trick remakes. Like I remember playing and replaying and loving those games, and I'm going to get them. But is it going to be playing on the big screen? Is the feeling going to be? I remember this having more substance, or is it going to be? I love Ghost Trick. I'm so happy I bought this. You know.
I mean, it might be one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm gonna undock this and see how I feel, and maybe it'll be different. I don't know.
Right.
Probably not.
Maybe you can recapture the magic.
Right. I'm mostly planning on just getting to the scenes I remember and being like, get in here, everyone! You have to see this. Look at the animation when he dances in the white lab coat. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that one is exciting. I think that's like out this week. The Ghost Trick remake.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Never played that one.
It is the second best game on the Nintendo DS.
What you say the first one was?
What's that?
What'd you say the number one game is?
Oh, that's The World Ends With You.
Oh, okay. Didn't play that either, and that's also on the Switch, isn't it?
It is the solo
Oh, yeah.
remix iPhone port.
And the sequel as well, right?
Yeah, and the sequel, Neo. Both very good. I would say if you could somehow go back in time to when people still had DSs and you could use it with the like proto Street Pass function, that would be the ideal way. But as it is now, I guess the Switch
Yeah.
version's fine.
Man, speaking of that, they gotta bring back like a Street Pass or a Picto Chat or some kind of thing like that for Switch or whatever's coming next.
Yeah, I mean, people have
Totally.
got them.
I think-
That's the one thing that's missing, you know, like a little thing where you can walk by somebody and get a digital puzzle piece and a top hat, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need some
That
more.
kind of social aspect.
We need some more articles like, is Nintendo destroying small family values? Switch PictoChat. Are your children in danger?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Right.
I only could, I mean Pico Chat was like almost completely useless because it was like either when I was with a friend and I was in the same room and I said, hey, go on Picto Chat.
Yeah,
which kinda
exactly.
takes away the whole magic of it. Or sometimes we went to like these anime conventions in high school and people would have their DSs with them naturally and have Picto Chat open. That's like the only time I ever had the whole experience of like drawing something to a stranger in there and then
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's only like, what, a 5 meter radius or something?
I was gonna say, yeah. I feel like it's
something like that.
Yeah.
close range, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the PSP's ad hoc kind of multiplayer from back in the day.
Hey, I mean, it was worth it to play Dissidia.
Shit. One of the few, yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts on WarioWare or Wario in general?
I'm gonna get it and probably pay it twice.
Good guy, a little greedy.
Are you a fan of Wario Land, Kevin? Like his side-scrolling series?
I didn't play too many of them. I played Wario Land 3 when I was a kid. I tried playing it on the Switch again, and I found it to be kind of confusing for some reason. I'm like, I played this when I was like 8. I don't know what I'm not getting here. But yeah, I didn't play too many of them. I know they're beloved. But yeah, that's kind of my extent.
Okay. Yeah, Nick's a big Wario fan.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I want Mario to be, I suppose.
Okay. What is the difference exactly? I know that obviously they're both side-scrolling platformers, but like Wario is kind of like you have to. It's a little bit more strategic.
It's more like puzzle oriented because you can't die. So the punishment for fucking up is you get sent back like to the beginning of the level because you didn't understand a boss's pattern, or you didn't use the right power up, or you accidentally got set on fire and you dropped through the floor, so now you get sent back 80 rooms or something.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That sounds.
But he's like very expressive, crazy guy. He's violent and psycho, collects a lot of treasure. It's fun.
And I feel like there's been a rise in Wario Land likes within the recent year, at least.
Yeah, I like Pizza Tower.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
I haven't played yet, but
It's quite good, I would say.
looks cool. Love the art style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like cursed Sega Genesis vibes. I'm
Yeah,
into it.
yeah. It's like sometimes like that's enough to get me in the door. Sometimes it's like a really unique, eye-catching art style,
Mm-hmm.
and like just get me in there, make the gameplay good, and I'm pretty much sold.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So the last of Nick's picks that he sent me was a Super Mario RPG coming out in the middle of November this year.
That's right.
I never played the original back in the day. I know that like Square helped develop it back in the day, and that was of note then. But if you guys have anything to say, feel free.
Yeah, I love that game a lot, and my jaw practically dropped to the floor when they announced it during the direct. I knew I saw the rumor on Twitter, but like people like, oh, it might be Mario RPG. I'm like, that'd be cool, but probably not. There's probably not, because like, I mean, I used to love that game when I was a kid. I think the first time I ever used the internet was to log online in like 1996 to look up screenshots of Mario RPG, even though I didn't even
That's
have it
awesome.
yet.
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's
have the
great.
game. And yeah, I played it maybe like when I was like 10 or something. I fucking loved it. And
Okay.
it was one of those games where it was like so fucking hard to get a hold of in some ways because I bought a copy off like eBay to play it when I was a kid. It
Wow.
was one of the first
Yeah.
things I ever bought on the internet. And then it was like, oh well, you know, a lot of Super Nintendo games came to Game Boy Advance. They never brought that one for whatever reason, probably licensing. I remember Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. There was a Geno cameo. That was a big deal because they could never use him or anything like that. And it's always been this kind of thing. They've like danced around it, like, we're not going to talk about that one. Like they took forever to put it on the Wii Virtual Console. It's not on the Nintendo Switch Online catalog. It's only on like the Super NES Classic or the SNES Mini. It's one of those games that they have not made widely available or re-released much at all for some reason because it's like a beloved game. And then like people have wanted Geno and Smash for a long time, which I think
Yes.
like, you know, that'd be cool, but at the same time, I think it's also like, come on, man.
I mean,
But
I don't know. K.
maybe
Rool.
now he has a chance. Maybe now he has a chance, but I think this is the perfect fucking way to get the game going again because it felt like they just kept making more Paper Marios, more Mario and Luigi's, and like this was like, in my opinion, the coolest of all the Mario RPG games, like the coolest kind of version of Mario's world in general. So like, yeah, it's not just like, oh, it's on the Switch Online. It's like it's a full blown remake that appears to be very faithful, has a lot of quality of life improvements. Has more cinematic cutscenes that are not just the same like isometric view of the characters running around in circles.
Yeah,
I think it's
for
really fucking cool. The one thing I'm like wondering is who's developing it though, because I don't think it's Square. But I also like if it's not them, I don't really understand how that works.
Yeah, it's.
right. If it's just some.
It seems like it's Nintendo themselves in house or something, or I don't know. Maybe it's the Mario and Luigi people, but I don't think it's Square. Which is also, I'm wondering if they'll be able to keep in the Kulex boss fight. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's like the secret boss, right?
Yeah, with like it just has the I think the Battle Against the Four Fiends theme playing the whole time, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I feel like maybe. I mean, like the fact that they Square owns Geno and Mallow, and like they've like that's been like they've had such a tight grip on those characters. But the fact that we see like they're in the game, all the unique bosses are there, everything is there. It's like they probably will have Kulex in the game. I have to imagine.
All right, sounds well, case closed.
Yeah, I'm looking online. No news on the developer, but I do see that the composer will be rearranging music for the remake.
Yeah, no, she's like
always good.
I forget her name, but she's like super legendary. She's done a ton of like I know she did like Kingdom Hearts, Street
Oh.
Fighter
Oh.
2.
Okay,
a
Yoko
lot of
Shiomura.
Yeah.
a lot of amazing games.
Very cool. All right. Well, they should have just put her name in the headline of this.
Yeah, right.
Right on. Yeah, it's one I've never played. Right, I've only heard good things about it. I know what it looks like. You know, I've always seen pictures and articles and such, but it is
Yeah,
exciting
I mean,
to.
if you love like RPGs of that era, where it's just like, I think that's such a sweet spot for JRPGs because they're like good stories, but they're kind of goofy. You know, they're not afraid to get like silly or weird sometimes, but also serious. Like think about like all the old Final Fantasies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This fits in so perfectly, and it's just like all the little like Bowser is like so funny in that game. It's kind of like they kind of ended up reusing that for like all the other Mario RPGs or most of them at least. And I remember
characterizations of them.
I remember that as a kid. I was like, oh my god, you get Bowser on your team? How do they get away with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it really speaks to the. Go for it.
yeah, it was, like everything in Super Mario RPG, I feel like is directly translated to Paper Mario. Like there would be no Paper Mario without Super Mario RPG. The timed hits, actually having to have some input in your attacks, which I thought was a great idea because even though I've always liked JRPGs, I was always kind of put off by how automatic it is. Just like press A to attack, select it. Yeah. So I like just that little extra input of actually pressing A for the little extra damage boost. Keeps you awake, you know?
It's the perfect melding of like RPG formats and like obviously Mario games. You know, he jumps and
Mm-hmm.
time everything properly, so it's like they kind of marry it all together really well. I do
Yeah.
remember like Paper Mario was originally going to be called Mario RPG too, even though it's a very, very different game, and I think that they were wise to call it something else. Um, and I do love Paper Mario, at least the first two. Um, but it's kind of crazy how like I think that we kind of gave up on hoping for anything else from Mario RPG to the point where people are like, just give me Mario, give me this, give me. But then it's like they took it with this correct. They took it all the way back to the fucking beginning, where it was like, you guys wanted another Mario. How about a fucking remake of Mario RPG? I feel like that's.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would prefer this. So.
Yeah.
There you go. Eating well.
Eating very well.
Yes, the direct for
It just seems to
JRPG
be-
connoisseurs.
I think the flexibility of Mario's brand, you know, you can't always take these established characters and then just put them in a different genre, and it'll like not always work, but
And he's done it
it's
all.
cool. Yeah, exactly.
Right, there's no Halo card, after
Okay.
all.
Yeah, right.
Not a bad idea.
Let's see. The other, well, unless you got anything else you want to say about Super Mario RPG.
No, I gotta cut myself off. I go on. Take the show.
We'll circle back eventually, yeah. What about you, Nick?
Me? I mean, I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll probably actually finish it. I never actually finished Super Mario RPG. I would just play it for a long time, and then I'd be like, well, what else do I have in my ROM folder? I see Final Fantasy VI. I see Dragon Quest. I think I'll start one of those. And then I would forget I was playing Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, that's what happens when like you have like when you know when you're a kid, it's like you kind of get like one game at a time, and it's like I'm gonna get everything I can out of this. And then when you're an adult or you have access to a emulator, it's like I got all these options of games to play. You know, I get to it. We streamed the majority of the game on the Thought Cops Twitch. I want to say maybe like
Oh, nice.
4 years ago. Yeah, me and our friend of the show Nico. For like a month or two, like once or twice a week, we hop on stream and like play through the game. And yeah, we got through like maybe like 80% of it, and then I never went back and beat it for some reason. I remember being like, man, I really should go back and finish that. But now it's like I'm just gonna get the remake, play that. You know, yeah.
Something about that final stretch, I don't know what it is, but especially replaying it, because I was just replaying Final Fantasy VII. I got all the way to the Northern Cave, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just not going to finish the game.
You know, that's like something I hear from a lot of like people playing games. That's just like something I don't personally understand. Like, I have a good number of friends. Like, you know, we're talking about when like Tears of the Kingdom was coming out, and people are like, "Oh, I fucking love Breath of the Wild, but I never beat it." I got like they were like, oh, "I got all the Divine Beasts. I got to the Hyrule Castle." And you were the same way?
No. Don't worry, please. I've already beaten Final Fantasy VII. This is merely a replay.
That's okay. A replay, I totally understand. But like, I hear a lot of people who do like, they'll get to like close to the end of the game, and then they just won't finish
And
it.
then just drop off.
No.
I just like that. That would bother me so much. Like, I wouldn't be able to focus on work or anything. I'm like, I gotta get that fucking game finished. If I'm not close.
The unresolved business hanging.
Yeah, I'll be calling off.
Yes, it's radically different, especially for a JRPG, because really it's just about the story. The gameplay is secondary. You want to see the dialogue. You want to see what's going on in the world. You never get that finality, that closure.
That progression,
Yeah, it's like a big black hole in your gut, I think.
I had a friend of mine was telling me recently, like, he's a huge Seinfeld fan, and he's seen the show multiple times, but he never watched the last 2 episodes until like last week. He texted me, he's like, I finally finished it. Finally watched the ending. It was okay.
It's been 30 years. Finally got there.
Like avoiding it. I don't know why. And I'm just, you love the show so much. They're all right there. Just go watch them. And he's like, I'm just gonna start over. He gets to the end. He starts over. It's just.
That's crazy.
But he finally capped it off. I think he just didn't want it to end. I don't know. Is that the same for you? Like, you just don't like when.
I understand that feeling. Yeah.
I want to feel like it's in perpetuity for my whole life.
This state we're in right now.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, this is about what I've heard. People who just love something so much, they're like, if I never see the ending, then it never really ends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of sick and twisted, you know? Type of person that would like freeze a loved one. Oh,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like
you'll never die.
how that psychologically applies to the rest of people's lives. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop the rest of life from going on, but you can not watch the Seinfeld ending.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. It's a
You can have
semblance of control
over
you
that.
have. Yeah.
There's some level of control here that maybe you don't have somewhere else in your life. Listen, I get it. I get it. Life's hard. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, not watching the Seinfeld ending is
Exactly.
essentially the same as mummifying your wife or your dog or something. Is what I'm gathering.
Seriously,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Mhm.
that taxidermy Jerry in my
Just like,
living room.
George, I just can't live without you. Newman, come back.
It's like the end of The Sopranos, you know? I don't let it happen. I just don't watch that last episode.
It kind of doesn't have an ending if you, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Fans are eating quite good.
Okay. Last bit on Super Mario RPG before we move on to some other announcements from the show. Are you guys worried that they're gonna change anything or any like plot points or gameplay bits with the remake?
Sorry, I'm just laughing because at the first thing that came to my mind. I mean, I know you guys like are or at least somewhat familiar with Thought Cops, but our editor Zwick on the show, he's
Mhm.
trying to think of the right way to describe him.
The kind way to describe him.
He's a bit of a wild card.
Yes.
Okay.
He's always just like he's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say anything out of turn to make it sound like he's like some kind of crazy.
He's a wild and crazy guy.
The one thing, because I know there's a secret like gag in the game where if you go to Peach's room in the castle, there's like an item in
Yes.
her nightstand, and it just says like it's listed as like because she's called Toadstool in the game. It's like Princess Toadstool's like question mark question mark question mark.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
like kind of a censored thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and in Japanese it's like XXX. And then of course, as soon as the trailer dropped, Swick was in the Thought Cops Discord. Like, I wonder if they're gonna leave that in.
Right.
Just wondering. I wonder if they're gonna keep that.
I'm really gonna keep the most important part of the game. For
Yeah,
me
I-
in there.
Right.
And I kind of want to know if I should buy it or not. You know.
Yeah. Is there any points in playing the
With
game you
the-
can't speed run Toadstool's Panties %? Really?
Yeah. It's gonna
Yeah.
ruin the entire metagame.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
just
if they leave it out.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously.
it's going to be completely
I mean,
soulless.
with the Final Fantasies, with the Final Fantasy VII remake, they kept in Cloud cross-dressing, so I think
They amped it up at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, did they like? I haven't played the remake. Did they keep that one part when like all the guys come in the room and come after?
No.
No, they took out
That's the kind of thing.
the Honeybee Hotel where
Cloud,
yeah the gigantic men come in and force Cloud down and the screen blacks out. That has been removed.
Yeah. Was anybody mad about that?
That it was
I feel
removed?
like I feel like
Certainly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm surprised I didn't see that. I figured I would have seen people with
More
"This is what
outrage
this is what we
pieces."
took from you. Okay.
Yeah, that Nomura guy. Yeah, I don't know what's going through his head.
Yeah.
All right.
Now there's another wild and crazy guy.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
A visionary.
You got any thoughts on that Sephiroth mobile game, Kevin? What is it? What is it?
I must have missed that. What was that?
Ever Crisis is a piece
What
of
was that?
dog shit.
Ever
It's
Crisis.
it's just a worthless piece of shit. Don't even acknowledge it. Don't even think about it.
Okay.
The tagline is
Yeah.
it's like we still don't know Sephiroth. Like, yeah, we do.
We still don't know him.
We
yes.
got a pretty good idea of who
We
Sephiroth
do.
is.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Or does he make some good points?
Yeah. Why does he freeze himself in the Northern Crater? Oh, it's all explained in the game. Sorry, I never played it.
Yeah, that tagline is extremely stupid. What you don't know, how many fucking spin-offs and remakes have there been to the point where you don't know jack shit about Sephiroth?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, he's kind of a wild and crazy guy. What else is there to say?
All those hours you spend with him, they don't mean shit.
You never found out his favorite food? You really think you know Sephiroth?
And, well, I better get it then.
Hey, it's be on your phone. With other notable announcements that I wanted to bring, or one of them was the new Super Mario Bros. Game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Be careful. Be careful how you say that word. It is not a new Super Mario Bros. Game.
Oh shit! Here we go.
This is the
Yeah.
this is the big deal with this game. It's not one of those. It's like
Oh, right, right,
you know
right.
how there's new Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. There's a lot of these games. I mean, for the record, I'm very glad it's not that. That's why I just want to be like crystal clear and say this
For
is
sure, for sure, yeah.
different. And I think that maybe myself and a lot of people are like overhyping it, maybe just a little bit, like to say that it's like this is completely different, and it's like you look at it and it's like it is, but it isn't. And don't get me wrong, I do like those games fine. I think that they're kind of sterile and boring after like the first one or two, and I think there's like 4 or 5 of them. But this one looked way more creative, and this is, I mean, it's basically exactly what I was hoping for, I guess, from a Sites Rolling Mario game, like a better art style. Somebody pointed out on Twitter that you're not constantly bumping into each other and like stuff like that, so like that's pretty cool. Um, but I think it was a wise decision to release this game now because I think like somebody in our Discord was saying like a lot of people are saying like a lot of these late Switch games, everybody's saying like, oh, this doesn't run very well or this chugs or it has frame rate issues, and like
Yeah.
they're releasing a lot of games now that are like not super graphically intensive. They're kind of simple but very stylized and can run on the Switch well, which is why I probably think we did not see like a new 3D Mario or 3D Donkey Kong or anything like that, because it's probably saving it for the next system if I had to guess. But this, I think Mario Bros. Wonder looks awesome. Um, but like as for how differently it's gonna play from like the new Super Mario Bros. Games, I'm not entirely sure.
Right on. Yeah, I feel like the big joke going around is like Mario tries psychedelics or has had too many psychedelics.
Yeah.
This
Very early 2000 Newgrounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Whoa.
Shigeru Miyamoto actually might have been inspired by that. He's like, oh, I saw this Flash animation.
Yeah.
on newgrounds.co.jp.
Yeah. It was called, I think, Mario Smokes Weed, and I was like, oh my god, duh.
I had to wait for the copyright to pass before I could make this game.
Yeah, it's a very soulless versus soul. All the comparisons I've seen to new Super Mario Brothers. All the people that are like, actually, this is they're directly taking the Mario illustrations from the instruction manual. They're giving you that feeling of being a child, and when you first read it, and you visualized Mario gliding through the sky, but now they can finally portray it properly.
Hey, I think we'd all do anything to go back. So just give us the game.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to live in La La Land for a little while.
right.
Yeah.
It's a little escape for us, yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, keeping the kind of Mario platformer train going, we got the Untitled Princess Peach game.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if this is this her first like
Second.
solo kind of outing?
First was Super Princess Peach, a game I have never played, but people swear is playable.
Because it's for fucking girls, dude.
Yeah. Incidentally, I will not be getting the new one. I will, perhaps my sister will, and I'll look at her play it. That might happen.
Yeah.
And then maybe maybe she'll play it wrong, and I'll have to take the controller and show us how it's done, and then I'll end up beating the game.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
Let me help you because you can't do it yourself.
Yes, let me just beat the boss. Let me just play through the whole game for you. All right, just move over.
Yeah, let me help you for a few hours, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's something different, even if I don't get it. It's just weird. Like what I thought was weird in the announcement was like how mysterious they were about it. Like, of all games,
Yeah.
we can only show you this part. It's like,
Yeah,
what else
right.
could they be hiding?
More costumes, more dresses for her to switch
Yeah,
into.
they're going to add the dress spheres from 10-2.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I did notice it's all on a stage, right?
Yeah, it looked
I
like
kind of had that.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of Thousand Year Door or Mario 3 kind of thing going for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one that I'm personally not super excited about, but it feels noteworthy enough to bring up since
Classic misogynist Sam.
games are a rarity. How dare you? Yeah, and then after that, there were I got some ports. There's the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1, coming out at the end of this year.
I was kind of
Oh,
disappointed to hear. Apparently, like most of that, even if you buy the physical version, you have to like download most of it for some weird
oh,
reason. I don't know
how
why.
odd.
Yeah, I guess like they, I don't know. I don't know why exactly. Somebody broke it down. I think that Konami was being cheap about like the kind of cartridges they wanted to use for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprise, surprise. But I mean, I would like to, I think just for the pure novelty of like playing it on Switch or handheld or
Mm-hmm.
something is because I have that same collection for PS3, but it's like, where the fuck is my PS3
Yeah,
at?
Yeah, right, right.
So
yeah.
allegedly there's a volume 2 coming. So
I'm honestly waiting for Volume Two. I just want to finally have a version of Peace Walker that doesn't break my wrists trying to use the D-pad as a
Mm-hmm.
camera. If they could fix that, I think Peace Walker would be at least on par with Metal Gear Solid 3 as one of the great Metal Gear Solid games.
see, I've never played Peace Walker. Surprisingly, I've played all of them like 2 or 3 times, and like for some reason,
Nice.
yeah,
Have you ever
never played
played
Peace Walker.
Kid Icarus Uprising?
Yes, I have. Where
Okay.
is this going?
Well, you know how playing Kid Icarus Uprising is an amazing experience, but it also cripples you permanently.
Oh, yes,
It's the
yes.
same in that way. The controls are horrendous.
Claw hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
if you want to do anything, you have to have the constant claw going with the single little PSP nub, and you have to use the I think the face buttons where the camera controls.
The aiming, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
Well,
this,
here's what.
it's cool that we're getting, Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3. I'm curious about Volume 2. Like, obviously, Peace Walker, but like, what about 4? Like, there's
I
been
think
no.
the rumor is that it's supposed to have 4 or 5 and Peace Walker in it.
That's crazy.
5 seems like a stretch for the
That'd be
Switch.
a crazy collection, yeah.
It does seem like a stretch. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I feel like if they had it separately, like they could easily make a version that runs on the Switch. I think it's not probably not
Mm-hmm.
that hard.
Yeah.
But and 4, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with 4. They never bring it anywhere
Mm-hmm.
else but like PS3, and like that's I don't know why.
I think it's just that
Yeah.
one scene where
The story.
Otacon's like, "Okay, Snake, change out your disc," and Snake's like, "But Otacon, we're using the magical power of Blu-ray where we don't have to change
Blu-ray
discs."
format.
Yeah, Otacons like, "Oh, duh."
Yeah.
Yeah, classic,
Mm.
man.
Yeah,
I love when they wink at me.
yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey, you chose the right platform. You still find those console wars because you backed the right side. Don't ever relent.
Yeah. The what I always hear is that Metal Gear Solid 4 was just like a nightmare to develop on the PS3, so it makes it difficult to port to other platforms. But I've been seeing some like PS3 emulators on PC running it pretty well this year. So hopefully we're one step closer. All right, moving on. We got well, what are your thoughts on Pikmin? Either of you, really?
Good, I'll get it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Pikmin 1 and 2 available now, and then Pikmin 4 they obviously also showed
Yeah, I got
for a
that.
bit at
I
the.
got that pre-ordered. So wait.
Nice. Yeah. What about Pikmin? Like, what's your favorite part of those games?
I like the
You know,
Pikmin.
I don't. I Yeah, no, the Pikmin are cool. Actually, no, that kind of sums it up perfectly. The
Mm-hmm.
Pikmin are good.
Yeah,
Uh,
the main hook of the game is just that strong.
I mean, they
Yes.
have cute
Yeah.
designs. I like the way they look. I like the way they sound. I like the way they move. I feel bad when they die, which is crazy to me because I'll play like GTA and I'll mow down an entire street and I'll be cackling the whole time. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
But when a Pikmin dies and I see his soul float, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm a fucking monster.
Well, it's because the
Well,
prostitutes you kill in GTA don't do that like little
they're so
Yeah,
body.
little ghost version of them like flying.
that's
You don't
true.
really feel anything. And then
Mm-hmm.
like, you put a fire Pikmin in the water on accidentally, and you see a little ghost come up. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What have I
I think it's
done?
because it's directly the result of your leadership. It's like I
Yeah,
sent
dude.
Right.
you.
Yeah, you're right. In GTA, when I run down
You're
that
responsible.
prostitute, I was like, ah, well, nothing I could have done about that. My hands are
That
clean.
was my way.
Yeah.
But these guys were counting on me.
Mm-hmm.
They were listening to me, and I led them right into death.
It's true.
Exactly. They put their faith in you, and you fucked them over.
Playing Pikmin is
Okay.
essentially exactly the same as being a commanding officer in a time of war. There's no real difference.
Yeah. All right. Last port pick I got was Luigi's Mansion 2 getting a re-release on Switch. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on those ones?
I'm probably gonna pass on it. I played it on 3DS. It was fine.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't really I didn't really own a lot of Nintendo hardware growing up, so like Luigi's Mansion was the only I only ever played that game in like a Toys R Us like demo kiosk.
Yeah.
With that really tall, like,
Yeah, you're like looking up at the fucking TV. Yeah. But I'm glad that the series has persisted, and I prefer Luigi over Mario. So anytime he gets his flowers, I'm in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care at all. I got
Hey,
Luigi's
that's fair.
Mansion
That's
3,
totally fair.
and I could not finish it. I just got so bored by like the fourth floor. I don't know what it was because I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great," and then I
What
just
about Luigi?
stopped getting
I did
gross.
love Luigi.
Gross freak makes me sick.
Two
Oh wait, what'd you say? You love him? Yeah, no, he's great.
All right. Well, unless we got any other closing thoughts on the Nintendo Direct, I'd say that about covers everything that we wanted to.
I'd say that
From
the
there.
40-minute directs as a whole was much more satisfying than the entire Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Summer Games Fest live, but I don't know. Everybody's trying to like do the direct thing now. Like Netflix even had something recently. Like they're like a fucking Netflix direct.
Jeez.
Really?
Netflix Game Studio.
It was called something else. It was like for their shows, and it was like they had like a big concert in Brazil, like where they got the actors
Wow.
and actors came on stage and like announced all the new shows. And like the only reason I knew about it was because that we're supposed to do the fucking live action One Piece trailer for the first time. And like I just like I would like check on the YouTube live show for it, and it just was like this crazy thing like Emily in Paris season 4 is coming out soon. Woo!
Like the Steve Bloom voice.
Like, all the announcements like rolling out, like I'm like what does anybody know what this stuff is? I mean Emily in Paris, I guess people know what that is, but it's like like The Exiles season 7. I'm like 7 seasons? What
7
the fuck?
seasons.
That were the first
just
6.
Endless stream of content,
Yeah, never
Open
ending.
mouths.
So much fucking content.
Huh?
I think I hate
With
television.
Yeah,
In general.
I hate to be one of these guys, but I think it used to be better.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think.
box office meant something.
No, I mean, I think that YouTube has almost entirely replaced my TV and show watching at this point. Just like video essays about random shit, like why this Melee Grand Finals will never happen again, and why that's a good thing. Like that kind of like 2-hour long video.
Yeah.
Super niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. All right. Well, do you want to talk about the bet results since we're moving away from the Nintendo
Yes,
Direct?
you lost.
Or should we save that for later?
You lost a bet that I absolutely should have lost. Kevin, so the idea that I had, have you ever heard of Swagapinos?
Yeah, I think I heard about that from Zach.
Really? Okay, wow.
Yeah. He kind
I love
of
that.
he kind of mentioned it in conversation, and I just was like, I can infer what I think that is. I mean, I'm not sure if that's where you might have heard it too.
I believe I introduced this concept to Nick.
That's
years
correct.
ago.
He pulled up a picture of a guy wearing like Filipino flag, everything. He's like, look at this fucking Swagapino. I hate these fucking rats. And I was like, whoa, calm down. Anyway, so my plan is to have him dress in full, like, Swagapino regalia. We're going to go to the local mall, and I wanted to do some TikTok-style, horrible content phone interviews as a Swagapino, asking questions like, hey, baby, would you date a guy if he was Filipino or no? And, get all up in their face. And just be generally a nuisance. Well, you lost the bet, so.
Man, that's a. Did you know the terms before you bet on it?
No, that's
Okay, I was
also
gonna
the
say
funny
like,
thing.
if that were me, I mean, well, I would probably be like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe the director's gonna happen.
We didn't even.
Well, see, I'm trying to. I want to inspire. This is all a meaningful thing because now when I lose, he has the resentment to do something truly horrible to me that'll be probably even funnier. And I'll do it as long as it's not chopping off any useful parts or anything. I'm sure that it'll be completely
Yeah, or
doable.
dying, yeah.
If anything, it's kind of a compounded punishment for playing Fortnite because really that was just a boring. I wasn't really tormented.
How
I
dare
was
you.
I was mostly bored.
You were loving it.
I don't remember
This is
smiling
more like an eye
once.
for an eye. It's more like an eye for an eye.
I'm gonna say it doesn't really seem equal.
Okay, fine. Just how about this? You can just wear the Swagapino regalia, and I'll film you, but you don't have to talk to any strangers.
There you go. There you go. We'll make a little dance at it.
Fine.
Post that to the channel. Yeah.
Fine. If I'm gonna be made out to be this villain here,
I appreciate an outside perspective, seeing how extreme it gets.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to see that the punishments one may be a little heavier than the other. But
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
well,
you shouldn't have bet against him if you knew. If you knew what you were getting into. which is
I thought it was funny. In fact, I still
And it will
do.
be. It certainly will be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on how it pans out. I mean, if it does end up being funny, then by all means, who
Yeah.
cares?
If I get jumped, if I get beaten in the street, I won't like that.
Well, I think you'll be fine. I don't think there's a huge anti-Swagapino faction here.
Good.
Where do you guys live?
I'm in Santa Cruz.
Nick's? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm in the San Diego area, so we're
Oh, okay, so you guys
kind
are
of
close.
separate ends.
Yeah, he'll be flying here just to have me exact my punishment on him.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
so wait, one of you guys is in northern, one of you guys is in southern California.
That's correct.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Separate ends.
Well, you guys could just drive several hours to the middle. And then,
No.
Oh yeah, L.A. That'd be perfect. There'd be like 8 other people doing the same prank.
um,
All right. Wow. You fellas ready to talk about RPGs?
Every second.
oh yeah.
All right. Well, I guess. Do you want to start with the Q&A we got for the RPGs?
Yes,
That one related to,
We actually had questions, shockingly.
Super Mario RPG. Yeah. From Goon, he says, I never played Super Mario RPG. Do I play it now or wait?
I've been seeing
What
that
do
a
you
lot. Like he's asking if they should wait until like the remake comes out, or they
Or
should
just
wait
play
it.
the original right now, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because like we don't know if like the remake is gonna butcher it or something like that, which it doesn't look like it's going to. So I don't know. That's a tough call. I mean,
How long is that game?
It's kind of long for a Super Nintendo game. I don't remember
Okay.
like exactly how long, but it's pretty substantial. It's JRPG from
Yeah.
it's about as long as any other one.
Okay.
It's great. I mean, I think it's fine. You could probably play it. But then it's like he's probably gonna like play the old one, and then be excited for the remake, and then be like, I wish I could play that, but I just got done playing the old one. I don't want to do it again. So maybe I would say just wait for the remake. If you don't like that, play the original.
There you go, yeah.
And
Avoid fatigue.
exactly, yeah.
What do you think, Nick? Should he jump in now or should he wait?
I think he should just wait. I mean, it's not like he's doing anything anyways. He can wait. He can work on his Street Fighter tech or something in the meantime. Maybe he can enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like there's like we said, there's so much fucking content out there right now. It's like he could play like a dozen games in the time it takes for that game
In
to
the
come out.
meantime, yeah.
Right.
Just play your backlog now, and then whenever that comes out, you can play that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Yakuza, what,
Backlogs
0
are a
through
scary
6
thing in this age.
is on sale right now. Just pick up all those, and by the time you're done with 0, The remake should be out.
There you go.
Okay. And our next question from Origin. Do you think the remakes of this Mario RPG signal a possibility for Paper Mario remasters?
I remember hearing that, rumors, whatever. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I did hear that they were thinking about doing a Thousand Year Door remaster. So maybe.
Was that one on the GameCube?
Yeah,
Or was that? Okay, right on.
Second one, yeah.
it's the one everyone's in love with.
Mm-hmm. How many Paper Marios are there?
There's
Uh,
two. There's three,
Okay.
if you want to be nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we'll go with that.
Okay. But yeah, I'm sure that, if this does well sales-wise or critically, it could be a signal to Nintendo, like, oh, maybe people want this sort of stuff back. Put Mario through the RPG paces.
Or they should make an actual third one, a third Paper Mario.
There you go. Yeah, enough of the remakes, 2023 is the year of remakes, it
Pap-
seems.
Oh man, Paper
Right.
Mario has been just suffering for decades. I feel like.
I mean, I honestly, I haven't played one in a long time. I heard Origami King was okay. I didn't play it though.
And the last I played the Superstar Saga crossover, that one was pretty disappointing.
I didn't play that one, but on paper, no pun intended,
Mm.
it's such a fucking crazy idea. They had the fact that they had like two separate Mario RPGs going. That they weren't even the only two, for the record.
Mm-hmm.
They had two separate Mario RPGs going and then crossed them over. It's insane.
Oh, it's like what RGG Studios is doing with Like a Dragon. We got all these games, just cross them into.
What are they
Infinite world.
crossing over? I'm a big fan of Yakuza, so I'm.
I believe they're crossing
It's just
over
cool,
Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read an article for Hard Drive a couple days ago about how that was a ding.
Oh yeah, saw that. Saw that. Give Kiryu a fucking break.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I love the guy, but he's he is retired now.
Mm-hmm. How many times can he fake his death, right?
And he literally has gray hair. Have you seen him with a
Yeah.
new haircut?
He's going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah. He rolls up in his sports car.
Yeah. See, that would be funny if they did that. I'd be like, okay.
Oh yeah. Well, you saw the
midlife crisis.
the new trailer, right? Where Ichiban's like, "Oh, Kira, you ever been with a lady?" He's like, "Yes, all the time. Come on, man. I love ladies. I love them."
And he was like surprised to hear it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you not expect this from me?
I guess people out there do like. There's like a meme that like Kiryu's supposed to be like, oh, Kiryu's a virgin.
Yeah, canonically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess he was kind of obsessed with like one girl for a long time. But
Yeah.
you know,
If you just assume every single sub story is a delusion, never actually happened.
Yeah, non-canon.
right,
Yeah.
right. Me and Kiryu got into some crazy shit together.
Yeah. Oh man, the adult diaper ABDL room. Now that was a crazy one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
Classic sub story. All right, and our final question, not really related to RPGs, but from Goon again. What is your favorite gaming chip, and why is it Boulder Canyon jalapenos?
For a second I thought they meant like
Like a
NVIDIA,
microchip?
something like that. I was like, oh man, I'm too dumb to know about that. But then I'm like, oh, potato chips. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
That is a very good question. I mean, like I was actually when I was playing Live Alive earlier, I was eating some Sweet Heat barbecue chips, and
There you go.
that is like the controller has like the white. I had that like Smash Bros. Switch controllers. The handles are white, and I mean the chips are red. I'm kind of like dusting my hands off and then going back with the controller. I'm like, oh, I think I'm making this dirty.
Yeah,
So, like,
leaving a stain.
that's a big deal. Is like, what can I eat that's not gonna dirty my toys?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I like to get like a band and just kind of get the chip bag directly over my mouth, like a horse's feed bag, so that way I don't get anything on my hands.
Just
How is that not like a product that they sell?
It sounds like something
Yeah,
like
it's
Homer
games
Simpson
everywhere.
would create.
Yeah, like I could see that even being at like GameStop. Like maybe not the chips themselves, like maybe like the harness. harness.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
new
You
gaming
have to have a
harness.
I think I think actually I have mine. It's not a chip, but I really love combos. You guys know those?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Street Fighter
It's like a
player.
90s snack, right?
They still make them. They're like those like pretzel logs that are filled with like
Yes.
cheese filling or different kinds of filling.
Yeah. I feel like I'm only familiar with the pizza flavor.
Yeah, those are okay. I feel like with any pizza flavored chip or anything, they're always like they have a very specific taste, but I don't think I would exactly call it pizza flavor. It's just like
I would
No,
call
yeah.
it
Vaguely Italian seasoning.
it-
Yeah.
like
era-esque.
clay and salt, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of clay, a lot of salt.
Yeah, Play-Doh isk.
Yeah, I mean, like, God, I remember eating the fucking, like, the pizza Pringles, the pizza Goldfish.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
like, they must be sharing the same seasoning or something, but, like, it doesn't actually taste
Totally.
like pizza. But that being said, there's a lot of great combo flavors out there. Check them out, combos. You can find them at the hardware store. Every hardware store has always got a, in the impulse buy, they always got a combo.
Go to your local Home Depot, pick up some
Real
combos.
Yeah.
You'll find them in the checkout lane, like when you're buying your lumber, be like, okay, need a snack. Is there anything
Yeah.
about? And it's like combos. They don't get
Combos.
super dirty. They're super delicious. A lot of flavor in every bite. I don't know.
All right. What's your favorite flavor? What's the top? What the top thing is?
Gotta be the classic cheese, the cheese and pretzel, or the cheese and cracker. There's a cracker version and a pretzel version. There's two different kinds, but they both have cheese inside. Oh, the buffalo one's pretty good too.
Spicy, good.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if that's a cop out because like technically that's not a chip, but
Nah, it's a
Okay.
gaming
Yeah.
snack.
I'd say anything
Yeah.
just drenched in
Yeah.
powder counts as a gaming snack.
Okay, well, you got me there.
Yeah.
Powder.
Yeah, fun dip.
Oh. That shit-
All right.
I'll say
And that concludes our Q&A from our our viewers.
All the burning questions.
I guess I've got some questions.
You guys say what kind of stuff you would eat?
No, we didn't. I think Nick just mentioned he'd have his horse feed.
Yeah, normally when I was living completely alone, I would get maybe an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips and just basically glue it to my face and play a JRPG for 8 hours straight. Looking a lot less trim in those days.
I was gonna say that actually sounds like really peaceful and a really fucked up. It sounds
Yeah.
really chill.
Like a cow grazing in the open pasture right before being sent to the slaughterhouse.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's peaceful for you, but
Yeah.
horrifying to everyone on the outside. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
people wanna watch it.
If someone were to take a photograph, they would post online and be like, "This is the reality. This is the future that Biden wants. Men forced into these feed
Yeah, this
bags."
is men in 2020.
Yeah.
If you guys remember like 10 years ago or something, there was like some viral news story about like this is what gamers will look like in 20 years or something, and it was like this guy with like this hunchback. And
Oh yeah, like the recessed face.
The most
Yeah.
offensive character.
Yeah.
He looked like an Xavier Renegade Angel character.
Yeah, it inspired me to start exercising for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me in 20 years.
Yeah.
I gotta do
Change
something about this.
Now.
Yeah, that's funny. I gotta say, when I'm gaming, yeah, just anything crunchy, you know.
Anything
It's-
crunchy.
Anything crunchy works for me. It's
So
not
you-
great for my teeth.
You could just be chewing on ice cubes. You'd be happy.
You could.
Okay, maybe not ice cubes.
Nah, you said anything.
Crunchy.
Salted ice. You heard it here
You're
first.
right. I don't want to double back.
Yeah.
You could put salt.
I just soak them in soy
Yeah.
sauce, you know, and then I take them out and
Ah.
kind of thing. All right. Well, with RPGs, I feel like the last big RPG that just came out was Final Fantasy 16. I've been playing it for a few hours. I know Nick hasn't picked it up yet. What about you, Kevin?
I have not played it. I don't have a PS5 yet. I know it's on PS4, I think, as well. I do want to get a PS5, and like that's one of the games where I'm like, yeah, I probably want to check that out. But
Yeah.
I believe it or not, I've only ever played through a few Final Fantasy games. Like I played through 6, 7, and 9.
I mean,
So
for those three are like pretty high quality.
You did manage to avoid the
You got a good
duds.
slice of the yeah.
Yeah, but I've been hearing good things about this. Like my friend was just telling me earlier today, it's like the best one since 10. Which
Interesting.
that seems to be a cutoff point for a lot of people. So
Yeah. It's interesting that he brings up 10 because that's kind of the vibe I was getting with the level of linearity in
Oh,
this one.
I thought you were gonna say with the writing.
Because no, the writing's
Is it
really
linear
interesting.
or non-linear? Like,
So the opening hours are very, very linear. I've gotten to a point where it's kind of opened up, but it's not like 15, where it was like a pure open world. It's more of like just a bunch of different zones, you know, connected
Good.
to the loading screen.
Open
like
zone
10,
gameplay.
12. Yeah, or like the remake of 7, honestly, because you kind of feel that
okay, I mean,
design philosophy there.
for a game like that, that's probably fine. Like, not everything had like, open world completely.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
I would, even say that most things should not be open world. We should stop making everything open world. I would say that it may even be a bane on gaming.
That being said, I still like. Did you guys play Bowser's Fury, like that Mario?
No, I own it, but I have never once opened it. But everyone says it's like the greatest ever.
Yeah, highly recommend it. And that is almost like a mini open world Mario game. Like it's very very small, but like it has like all the trappings and stuff of an open world game. Like there's different areas on the map you can sail to and get to on like this like sea. You're kind of like this,
Oh,
like,
okay.
areas.
Yeah.
Those are almost like the 2D platforming levels, but you actually have to like physically go to them instead of clicking them off a list.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
Yes.
something I would love to see on a bigger scale. Because there's never been, like, as far as I know, like an open world platformer game. I think that's the thing is we just see like a lot of RPGs and action adventure games that are open world.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
I was
mean,
gonna say like Sonic Frontiers, but
well, they
I
can.
played that
forgot
one.
about that.
Well, Frontiers, I feel like the whole point is going fast. You're not gonna be looking at the scenery. You're not gonna be noticing like, oh, here's all the nothing, and on this side there's all the nothing, and then there's the goal. Here's the starting point. It's like that's the problem with a lot of open world games. The nothing going on.
Yeah, the minute-to-minute exploration is not engaging in a lot of modern open worlds.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't played a ton of them, so I have not grown to super hate them yet. But at the same time, like, I think they do push it a little bit too much across the board.
I feel like
Yeah.
I play so many open world games that I feel the fatigue, and I understand like both sides. Like, oh, on one hand, it is really cool to have like this environment that you can explore with like a good amount of freedom, and there's appeal to that. But it's the loss of focus that kind of gets to me sometimes. It's like this is meandering, or the game would be better served if it didn't have this fluff.
Yeah, a
So
little.
You got past that opening segment though, you said, and it's a lot more like open, or at least not like open world, but like open.
It's a little more, right? You have the world map that you could come back to, and you can revisit zones.
Okay, cool.
But whereas like Final Fantasy 15, like it opened up pretty early, and it's like, oh, just go and do side quests, whatever. I feel like the stakes of the plot are like much more like we have to keep going on this quest that we're doing.
The opposite of Yakuza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no like freedom to just
Yeah.
live your life.
I feel like that's the
Yeah, that's
perfect amount of openness. That area, like Kamurocho, or any of those cities. Any bigger than that, I feel like you're losing the ability to really make it feel like a place you actually are exploring and going around in, like with landmarks and things that you can recognize and things you can enjoy. That's distinct. Does that?
You know what's hilarious that like didn't click until just now? Like, there's a debate about the new Zelda game. People are like debating like, oh my god, can you believe they're using the same world again? Like, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been to Kamurocho like 9 fucking times.
Yeah,
Fucking time.
literally.
Like,
And every time you're like, yes.
yeah, let's go.
I'm back.
Like, yeah, oh my, there's a Chinatown now? All right, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's in like I like nobody complains, and then like Zelda uses the same area once, and it's like, oh my god, it's fucking DLC, dude.
Yeah.
It's the same.
What was really crazy for me was the first one I played was 4, and 4 has like a radically different Kamurocho. It has like the rooftops and the underground.
Up and the down, yeah.
God, yeah.
And then after going to that and playing, I think I skipped 5 and went straight to 0. So I was playing with the
Crazy.
new
Crazy.
Kamurocho and Sotenbori, right?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Boris in
City in Osaka. Yeah.
Yeah.
a. Mhm.
And I was like, well, why can't I go on the roof? Why can't I climb these ladders? Where's the sewer?
Why
Where's the
can't I go
underground
to
shopping
the
center?
yeah underground shopping mall? Yeah.
It is weird how they do take things away. Like they'll add things in some games, and then you come to the next one, it's like, oh, I guess you can't
Yeah.
do that anymore.
I guess Chinatown
Right. That's the
evaporated.
most. It's the most befuddling thing about those games. It's like, how come I can't play ping pong anymore?
Yeah.
You know,
It
like,
was like I forget which hub world it was, but it was like I think it was in 4, like that. I forget the name of the guy, but he's like the undercover cop guy or whatever. He
Tanimura?
is.
Tanimura. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that area, I forget if it's like if it's
Little
like
Asia.
Little Asia. Yeah, I think that is like the worst hub world in a video game.
Yeah, see?
Super narrow hallways. You're like just
Narrow. Yeah.
through, and it's just like, get me the fuck out of here. It's so.
Mm.
They're immersing you. You know.
Yeah, they're like, this is what it's like to be the worst character in the Yakuza series. See how much you hate it? See how much you want to be playing
How
as
dare you,
Taiga
how
or
dare you.
Akiyama?
Never,
Oh.
never had a chance.
What happened to him? He snorted cocaine on film or something. The actor, so they had to just memory hole him.
Those were like allegations that ended up being false, I believe. But they
Oh.
took them from the project, and they replaced the model for the face. And, yeah, just because Japan is super stringent about.
Yeah, that's what killed Kaiji,
drug use.
the anime.
Oh yeah.
Oh
with
yeah.
Weed, I think. Right?
Yeah, the composer
Jesus.
smoked weed, so he went to jail for life.
Jesus Christ.
That's
That's
unreal. The most minor thing.
yes, but that being said, who's excited for the new Rurouni Kenshin? Huh?
A new anime?
It's a tough one. Yeah, the anime had a trailer a few days ago,
I had no idea.
I'm not
which
gonna.
is
I mean,
exciting.
it's one of my favorite series, but it's also like, how the fuck is this allowed to happen, and then that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Why? What happened with Rurouni
It's hard to
Kenshin?
separate.
Something perhaps with the creator? Was there some sort of incident?
Yeah, I would say Google it, but don't. Just don't.
Bad things.
Yeah, what was it? The original anime? Did it ever cover the final arc with his brother-in-law, the horrifically burnt
No.
man?
Oh, well, like his brother-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah, they got that was like. We're gonna go down a hole here, I guess. I'll agree with
Oh,
it.
hey. Oh, yeah.
The guy, his replacement, the replacement assassin guy, that's Shishio. They had him in the original. That was like before then, and then there was like the other arc after that where it was his brother-in-law who was like out for revenge.
That's it, yeah.
For Ken.
They didn't animate that one,
They
right?
did
Yeah.
not. No, they.
Okay.
They in one of the movies they included him, but it was a very very half-assed version.
Was that Samurai
But
X?
I guess
Okay.
it was fuck. It wasn't like Samurai. I think it was called. I don't know. It wasn't like Samurai X, the one that people like. There was like another one called like Trust and Betrayal or something weird like that. With some like it was honestly fucking terrible. But
All right.
I don't
Sometimes that's
Oh,
how it
speaking of
happens.
fucking
Did you
terrible,
watch the?
I was gonna say the Netflix
you
Yu Yu
got something?
Hakusho. What are your thoughts on that? Completely unrelated to what we were just talking about.
oh boy. I mean, I hated the Bebop live action.
Yes,
Wait. Netflix is doing Yu Yu Hakusho now.
that's
I
right.
know they're doing One Piece.
The live action Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ooh.
I mean, like I feel like that's one that could maybe work, but like it just doesn't have to exist. I think like One Piece was an awesome choice. I don't think it looks horrible, but it does not look good.
I don't think it should exist at all.
Yeah.
One Piece is a lot more cartoony, wacky. Yu Yu Hakusho, I feel like there's like something there they could get away with, but
I could see them doing the first season, but I can't see the Dark Tournament existing.
Yeah, that'd be odd.
What if like my nightmare casting is The Rock as Tagoro?
oh god, yeah. I mean, that would be. I just imagining the CGI on him right now, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Scorpion King style.
I do think. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Give him
yeah,
a little,
Yeah.
the
little hair
exact
too.
same. exact same technology they should use. I think that um, if they, well, not if, when they do this series, I think it has to be set in like the early '90s Japan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Yusuke should be
Yeah,
smoking
make it that period.
cigs, flipping up
It
skirts.
cannot be like, it cannot be modern. It's got to be like, because that's part of the fun of it. It has this like sort of feel of
Yeah.
I don't know, like that sort of time period, you
A
know?
very distinct style. Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Totally.
clothes they
Like
wear, everything.
digital age, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like just the way they dress and like everything. I think that could actually be kind of fun if they had it like be like, I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, like Stranger Things and whatever is like
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Really
Right.
lean into these 90s aesthetics and
your
make people
Japanese
obsessed with them.
Stranger Things. You can put them all in early
Oh.
'90s Japan, and
There you go. That's the pitch right there.
Oh,
So,
Japanese Stranger Things.
unless they set it. Unless they set it in Seattle, like the live-action Death Note.
Oh God.
That'd be
Make it
great.
American.
What did they change? Light Turner, right?
I think so.
Light
Yeah.
I don't remember. I like try not to, but
Maybe they'll get
Oh.
Willem Dafoe back for this one too. You know, as
waste though it was like the one part of that was like actually like, oh my god, they got fucking Willem Dafoe's Ryuk.
It's crazy that Ryuk just
It
looked
actually
exactly like Ryuk.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
it was almost like they're like, well, what guy looks like a fucking monstrous? And like like, you think he was offended when they're like, we want you to play this guy, and he's like, you guys didn't pick me because I look like him or something. They're like, no, we just think,
you're
you're
just
Huh.
yeah,
No.
you're the right amount of murder.
We loved the Life Aquatic. We loved it.
yeah. We saw Life Aquatic and we thought, oh my god, Death Note.
Yes, that's him.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it. I'll probably hate it. But what if I don't?
Well, I probably won't watch it. It'll probably be horrible.
I mean, I'm gonna give the
But,
One Piece live action a shot. I mean, like, even the Bebop one. I got together with some friends of mine from high school because we used to watch Bebop like once a year for a while. We get together like around, like,
Oh,
Christmas,
wow.
New Year, we watch the whole series in like a day or two, and then we
Yeah.
got together and we watched it. We're like, do you just want to get together and like make fun of this? And we did, and we just we honestly had a good time just laughing the whole time. Like, oh my god, you know.
Yeah, when I saw that,
But that's not what you want from a Cowboy Bebop adaptation. Yeah.
what is it? Vicious talking about eating some guy's nuts.
Oh, he was like,
Yeah.
there was like a new.
You don't have the balls.
There was like there was like a new original guy. Like there was like like the original characters were fucking awful. Not just because they were new, but because they were like awful.
Oh, so it wasn't
There was a
Vicious.
guy
Yeah.
there was a guy who like
I think
worked on like a
yeah.
plantation, and his whole thing was like cutting off people's testicles, and he's like would eat them for their power. He said,
Yes, that was the clip
It
I
was-
saw.
yeah, awful, and no better with context. Trust me.
A classic strategy to power up, chopping man's nuts. And
Yeah, I remember that
consume 'em.
scene. Classic, was it Zenkai boost, right?
Well, if we want to move back to
Right.
RPGs, and since we have kind of been going on for a bit, hour and a half now, which is actually maybe a little less since Nick and I started recording earlier. But how are we feeling right now? Want to keep going, or do we want to wrap it up soon?
I hope
think
it
we should
never
have to go on.
stops.
I mean, yeah.
All right. I'll hit you with some some basic questions right now. We can get back on track. I mean, are there any RPGs that you two have been playing recently that deserve to be brought up? Live Alive, obviously.
Alive, yeah. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of Chrono Trigger. Never played Live Alive. Obviously, very similar DNA, very similar theming in this series or in the games. I think that it's different in the right ways. It's a bit more episodic and not as connected as Chrono Trigger, at least so far. I just finished the prehistoric part, which I fucking loved. Because like
I was gonna ask what your favorite era is. Yeah.
So far, I've done the cowboy one,
Oh, that was
the
great.
ninja one,
Oh, that was
the
great.
prehistoric one,
Love that one.
and then I started the distant future one.
That one, you'll never believe
Is
it.
that when you're the little robot?
Yeah,
Oh,
Cube.
that
Cube the
was cool.
sphere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
humanity's
very
greatest
cool.
weapon is a sense of humor. So I'm going to call you something you're not.
Yeah. That one
Do you have a
is
for it?
very good. You said you just started the Distant Future?
Yeah, but I do want to say like the prehistoric one, like it was so funny. Like you could throw poop
Yeah.
and like fart, and those were your moves. And like that, I like, and then just like I love that there was like no dialogue, and just like they just be like and they have like symbols, and I'm like I kind of wish there was an entire game like this, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
It's
real
like so
charm to
fun.
that.
You see,
Yeah, like I feel like for the prehistoric stuff is like not explored enough in a lot of things, and I think there's like, and even like they had some fun with it. It was like exactly like what I was saying earlier about like that era of RPGs. It's like goofy but serious when it
Mm-hmm.
has to be. Like
yeah.
this kind of like
Yeah, they do what they want, you know.
yeah. So I fucking loved that. I mean, like all of them so far have been really good, but that's my favorite so far. I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say the only
What
other,
about you, Nick? What was your favorite?
my favorite. I can't say. He
Favorite
hasn't.
era.
I can't say it, to be honest. I
I
assume
know
you.
that the
Oh, okay,
secret.
okay.
You already know about the thing, the secret chapter.
Well, I don't know what it is. All I know is there is one, so I'm just gonna assume like that's the one you like. I don't know anything about it yet, but
Yeah,
There
I
you
won't
go.
say anything outside of that. I would say probably the Wild West. I just like that he's Clint Eastwood. Or I don't know. I actually also
yeah,
like
I
the
was.
near future, even though I don't like giant robots that much.
Yeah, I'm kind
Then
of curious to see about that.
well, I do. Live Alive was one of my favorite JRPGs when I was younger. Because when I got an emulator, I was like, oh, I got to play all these JRPGs. And the ones that really stood out were the ones that were like doing something new or interesting, like a little
Yeah.
indie hit called Earthbound. You may have heard about in your time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Undertale, but no.
Well, speaking of, there'd be no Undertale without Live Alive either.
Is that right?
Yeah, Megalovania is actually
Oh,
originally.
that's right. The track. Yeah.
That's right. It was originally taken. It was originally supposed to be a derivative of the final boss track from Live Alive, which is called Megalomania.
Oh, very well. I'll be looking forward to that. I'll keep my ears
Yeah.
peeled.
Yes, it's very good. Actually, no, I think you've
Yeah.
already heard it because it's the final boss for every chapter.
Oh, that
Yes.
I do love that track. I love
Yeah,
that.
Megalomania. It's a great track,
Yeah.
and that's also Yoko
I love
Shimomura.
I love fighting that giant Confederate soldier with this like.
Yes. Oh, Dio, right?
Yeah, the crazy like JRPG
That's
music
Yeah.
mix and
Yeah, you fought that, and you fought that. What was
Awesome.
it? The O.Dio Rex or whatever, that big ass dinosaur.
yeah. Oh, that didn't click. They were similar.
Yeah, I won't say anything more.
Dinosaur, giant frog, samurai.
Yes, it's all.
Right.
I love Live Alive. I feel like it's gameplay wise interesting enough, story wise interesting enough. Just like everything they tried to do with it for the SNES was very impressive to me, and it really like stuck in my mind. I thought like this is what RPG should try to do. Just have something new and interesting. All these different little settings. I think that's also why Chrono Trigger stuck. Although Chrono Trigger, I'll admit, it's a bit better, a bit more fun than Live Alive. But I
Yeah,
still do
I
love
mean,
Live Alive.
that's a pretty high bar to pass.
Yeah, they came close.
Do you have a favorite RPG of all time?
Me?
Um,
Either of you, yeah.
I'll just answer quickly. Yeah, Chrono Trigger.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Chrono Cross?
Never played it actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Chrono Cross is such a fucked up game.
I don't think it's as strong as Chrono
I-
Trigger, but it's not bad.
I don't think it makes
I think the
sense.
reason I avoided it- It's like I think I just wanted the Chrono Trigger to exist in this bubble by itself, and I feel like
Mhm.
the people are like, oh, it's a pseudo sequel, or they're kind of related, but they're kind of not. I'm like, that would
Yeah, they're
kinda-
tenuous links.
yeah, a little bit. I know it's like, I don't know. I might give it a shot at some point, but like, yeah, I mean, maybe I should because I mean, I love Chrono Trigger so much.
Mhm.
If you
I would say
like,
that's up there for me.
Very, very good music at times, I will say.
it's like it's very
Mario
Chrono Cross is very much like representative of the PlayStation 1 Squaresoft kind of era of really lofty, crazy, convoluted plots that everyone like kind of attributes to like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8. But it's more so these titles that never got that much attention. I'd say Chrono Cross is by far the most out there, crazy. What the fuck is going on? The music sounds great, but it's is nonsensical.
Yeah. Yeah. Not many RPGs will have you like. I mean, I won't spoil anything.
Yeah, now if you want to kill God, you got to play Xenoblade.
Yeah, I did like.
Okay.
I did like that. I played the first one. Xenoblade.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice. What's your favorite RPG of all time, Nick?
Probably Earthbound
Man.
or
So,
or
Earthbound
Lisa
over Mother? Why?
over Mother, like Mother 1.
Yeah, I mean they're like.
I mean, it's like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Earthbound is pretty much just a remake and a sequel of Mother 1. It takes all the ideas that Mother 1 had and makes them better. Does the things that they couldn't do with the first one. It's also Mother 1 is also not funny at all. I don't know if the translation's just super dry, or what was going on, but it's essentially just like a Dragon Quest clone with like a kind of a modern set of paint with the sprite work. Whereas with Earthbound, they actually tried to add some character with the dialogue. It was the first game I ever played where talking to NPCs gave you anything outside of just like, go to the cave and kill a rat and you'll get some gold. You know?
Yeah. I played Mother 1 for the first time a few months ago, and yeah, it was pretty dry. It was one of those, I liked it, but well, I think I would have had a lot more fun with it if it wasn't so fucking grindy. God
Yes,
damn.
it is. It is very much.
Yes.
And I think
A
that's.
classic issue of the.
Did you play
I mean, like,
the? No, go
I
ahead.
don't mind some grind. Like I've I can go back and play a lot of older RPGs and like especially these like newer Final Fantasy reissues that like you can toggle on and off the grind.
Yeah, fast forward. Yeah.
Fast forward. I just put a podcast on and like just sit there and grind them out for a little while. Oh, hey, back to the game. But like, oh my fucking god, Mother 1 was like.
Yeah, and it's really bad. Did you play the Earthbound Zero or Earthbound Beginnings version, or did you play the like Famicom?
I played the one on Switch.
Okay, I think that one actually is patched to give you better experience rates because the original is even worse.
Christ.
And that was the one. That was the one I played back in my day, and I hated it. Frankly, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I know. Like in this version, like I think they like at least added a run to it. Like you could move around fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's one of those things where it's like you can tell how very, very ahead of the time it was when it came out. And like riffing on this sort of genre and these tropes and stuff like that. And like it has some of the best music in the series, some of the best settings in the series. They just like honestly, I would love a fucking remake of that game.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a.
Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah, that feels like that needs it so bad, more than I'll be honest, more than Mario RPG. As much as I want to see that game, I think that they should remake Mother 1. Maybe make it a little bit better paced. You can hold more items. Just a few small
punch
tweaks.
up the localization.
Yeah, a few small tweaks will make it a truly amazing game.
I feel like that's kind of on the same never ever status now that Super Mario RPG used to be. Like the whole Mother series, especially Mother 3. That's still just, I guess, persona non grata at Nintendo of America.
We'll see.
Yeah, exciting times we're living in because you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Is like, are there any like dormant or dead franchises that you think deserve a comeback or a remake? But yeah, we got Mother.
Yeah, I don't think I would like. I don't think I need or want Mother 4. But like a remake of Mother 1 would be like amazing.
All right. What about you, Nick? Any remakes you would love to see?
Of role playing games? Not really.
Yeah.
Not really at all.
None?
No, maybe. Well, I know that Y2K patch is coming out. I'm sure that'll fix all the issues I'm having with the game. I'm sure that'll make it very playable and fun.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, trying to think of like obscure RPGs that I really enjoyed as a kid that I would like to see come back, but I don't know. I didn't play a lot of like CRPGs in the '90s, or from the '90s rather. I was like a fucking baby back then. But yeah, and of all the JRPGs getting remade, yeah, I can't think of one.
Yeah.
Nothing
Unfortunately.
you'd like to see in that shiny HD 2D.
2D HD. No, because they've been like remaking the fucking Sword of Manas and Trials of Mana, but that's like fully 3D. So maybe it would be interesting if they did that kind of 2D HD sprite style for those games. Because
There's a lot
I
of
do remember enjoying them.
rumors about a Final Fantasy IX remake coming out.
Really? Like
Yeah,
full-on remake?
I've been seeing those. Yeah, yeah,
I
like
don't know how
NVIDIA
that's
leaks
gonna
and
work.
shit.
Like I mean, it's probably not going to be to the capacity they're doing the Final Fantasy VII remake, where
Right.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
gigantic. It's a remake, but also not a remake. You know,
Yeah.
A requel.
Sequel, yeah.
yeah, I could see it being. I could see it being more of like a, you know, like a what they're doing with Mario RPG, basically. Fresh coat of paint, same goofy
Yeah.
story.
New models, a little bit faster,
Worst
grinding.
case scenario, it would be like Final Fantasy VIII remastered, super fucking lazy.
Oh, it's Squall's face looking so good.
All right. Here's one. What's an overrated RPG franchise? You guys, you're like, I don't see the hype.
I feel like I have, you know, honestly, I don't play a lot of Western RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Okay,
like,
so you're not like from the.
yeah, I mean, a Fallout or something. I mean, I guess I've never played it myself, so I don't know, you know. But I've just always gravitated more towards like the goofiness of like JRPGs. So I feel like
No, yeah,
that's
totally.
I maybe not like that. I think it's bad, but like I don't necessarily see the hype myself.
I agree. They shouldn't exist.
I guess
Not a BioWare fan or.
No.
without wizardry or whatever it was called, there would be no Dragon Quest, and there would be no Final Fantasy, and no Earthbound.
Ultima, right?
Yeah, it was.
Ultima, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we're very much like a JRPG leaning crowd in right
Yeah,
now.
but at the same time, I think just because I've been, you know, maybe a little bit closed-minded to it, but just have not seen as much of an appeal.
They're different focuses. I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, Eastern RPGs or JRPGs, you have such a like a predefined character.
Yes. Do you want
Right, exactly.
something you'll
Fleshing out
enjoy,
their
or do you want
personalities
something
too much,
boring?
yeah.
I agree.
Oh, right, man. There's total appeal to the Western school of thought of like, you know, you're building this character. It's very much like D&D, you know, and you hate D&D.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that doesn't jive with you.
Actually, you know what?
But-
No, I take it back. I guess I do like Western RPGs, but the ones that are just
There you
gaming
go.
JRPG style.
Lisa. Yeah.
All right, right on.
I have yet
Yeah.
to play that game. My girlfriend's always like telling me like, oh,
Hey,
you gotta play it.
you're in luck.
Like, I know I have.
Yeah, Nick says it's great.
It is amazing. It is.
I joke on Undertale, but I like it. You know.
Me
it's
too.
fun.
I actually love Deltarune, but I put that in the JRPG camp. I'd say that one's special.
This is like this is a topic for actually. I have like an article I have to write about this, so this kind of get the juices flowing a little bit. But how they're
Yeah.
we still make the distinction about like JRPGs specifically, like where it feels like we used to call them RPGs, then we just call them JRPGs. Now it's like we still call them JRPGs, but there's even less of a distinction because it's like we have so many games, like there's so much cross pollination now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We still make this like useless distinction of like, you know, oh, this is from
Yeah, even the language that these games are using is mostly similar a lot of the time.
Right.
Yeah, where it's like, you know, technically Dark Souls is a JRPG, but you know, y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Right. The Dark-like franchise, or the Dark-like genre, as we call it. Yes,
On
I
the
mean,
ditch.
with the rise of the Earthbound likes too, I would say Lisa is the only one that really scratched that itch perfectly. Like really fulfilled what I wanted in that way.
No, definitely
Yeah.
got to play it.
Yeah, you're in luck. The remake comes out like in a week or something.
Wait, there's a remake coming out of that?
Yeah, they randomly announced it
Oh,
like
yeah.
a month ago.
Oh, okay, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, so just
So
wait for
you
that.
have a fresh chance to take a new dive into it.
Now I'm gonna be like, should I play the remake or the old one?
Play the remake. I played
Okay.
Lisa. I don't know how many times. 4 times. Wait for the remake. I'd say.
Okay.
Okay. And so, in your opinions, both of you, like, with this kind of inclination towards the Eastern school of thought, what makes those RPGs good? Like, what
Am I purple?
I think
Uh,
they're pretty
aspect?
good.
You are purple. You look like you're holding your breath,
Why am I purple?
I was
like you're about to
was-
shit your pants.
I look like fucking Five Nights at Freddy's.
I was
I
like,
don't know. It's also getting dark in the room I'm in too. I will return.
yeah,
Oh,
did
thank you. Thank
couple
you.
stars. Like,
Never mind.
thought something might have happened.
No, I don't know whatever. Well, I'll just roll with it.
Get into that
I've
bad.
been having an allergic reaction.
Yeah, I had an allergic reaction to some lean, I guess.
What was the question again?
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, what makes for a good RPG in your eyes? Like,
Intuitive, fun, good story.
It's from Japan, ideally.
It's from it's from Japan or made by somebody who wishes they were from Japan.
Exactly.
yeah. Okay. And
If
with
it's
RPGs, like, oh, no, go for it.
if it's made an RPG Maker, there's a 50-50 shot of being something very interesting and fun, or the worst piece of shit you've ever seen in your life.
Fair. Do you guys ever engage with, like, well, I guess it doesn't really make sense to ask if, like, the role playing aspect of these games, because I feel like Yakuza is a series where, like, you kind of do just naturally, you know, like, you immerse yourself in the life of the character, as opposed to, like, a Final Fantasy, where you're not really like, what would Cloud be doing right now, you know,
Yeah, I mean that's
affecting
like
the way you play.
the school of thought around that has always been kind of interesting to me. Where, like for example, like Zelda, Link doesn't talk. I don't want him to talk, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you're supposed to impose yourself on the character. It's like sometimes I don't want to do that. I just want to like play a game as a character. Like
Yeah.
I don't want it's I just want to I can delineate like okay I want to be different people in different games kind of thing.
Okay.
The
Right
whole
on.
like talent protagonist thing. I like when they give the character some character, but it's not, again, like Chrono Trigger is my favorite RPG ever, and Chrono is basically that type of character where he doesn't speak and you're kind of supposed to impose yourself on him a little bit, but they do enough with him to make him a character. He's got enough of a background, enough of a unique story, so.
Yes. He
Yeah,
nods.
there's enough of his context in the world.
He
yeah.
wakes up in the morning.
Yeah. I guess I would say it's maybe a little bit old-fashioned.
I think there's only one action really in Chrono Trigger that's done not by you, the player, but Chrono himself, right? When he like sacrifices himself to the Lavos beam.
I think so.
Yeah, that's some character building.
Where he shows his agency. Yeah. That's always fun. Okay. Bum. Trying to think if I got any more questions for you two, or if you want to bring anything up yourselves.
How do you feel about just like people saying like, oh, we're adding RPG elements to this game, but then it's just like, oh, there's like an experience gauge on your gun, or like, oh, you found this location plus 10 EXP to unlock a skill to let you have a little bit more health or something. Like, I guess the RPGification of games, not so much meaning the adding of like the story or the designs or any of the like themes that you would associate with an RPG or role-playing elements at all, but just like the numbers. I would say that's personally I detest it. But what do you think?
I would say like an example that I like is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
That is good.
Because like they had that in there, because like the other ones it was just about platforming and whipping and whatever. But then in that game it was like there was RPG elements. Like it was, but I think it was done like so sparsely that it felt like that was appropriate. But too much is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like going back to what you were saying about like the weird distinction we make between JRPG and RPG. I feel like the term RPG elements has just gotten super bogged down as the industry has, gone on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I could live without games inserting RPG elements because, like Nick said, it is often just like the most surface level.
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed.
Numbers. Yeah.
And then you got all the RPGs are adding action elements, so it's like it's all kind of just the same mush.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. In that regard, are you turn-based combat like your preference, or do you prefer ARPGs with like action?
I like a little bit of input, like Super Mario style, at the very least.
Yeah, that's a nice mix.
Okay. Do you have a favorite like RPG battle system, like ATB from Final Fantasy, or the way that you fight in like Grandia?
Like, do I like waiting or do I like actively waiting?
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's pretty decent. It's got like the dial combo
Just any
system.
RPG that's been like, you know.
Xenoblades. No, actually, I don't like the Xenoblade combat. It's like an MMO.
Single player MMO, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like playing Dot Hack again.
That's one I never got into.
I mean,
Always looked too much.
Like, say what you will about Pokemon, but like, that fucking type chart is stroke of genius. I know like they don't change it much. It's kind of stayed, the same. But like, that I think that's like something that's so intuitive to like anyone to understand, and also like there's enough to dig into where it's just like there's a lot of depth to what you can find.
Yeah.
I think that's just like I didn't play the most recent Pokemon, but I might not. I don't know. But like there's just something about like when the new one came out, I was like looking at the new Pokemon. I'm like, oh my god, there's a fucking fire grass type in this one. They never did that before. And like just that type
that's odd.
In the system, I'm like, okay, like that's enough to hook me in. You know what I mean? Like game aside or anything, I think that's just such a genius system.
Yeah, fighting dark
yeah,
type.
Totally, that underlying strategic element. Yeah, always nice. Right on. All right. Any recent favorites from you two as we're wrapping up? Unless we got more to say
For RPG,
or anything you're looking forward to. Yeah, with RPGs.
Mario RPG. Looks cool.
There you go. Yeah, Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Dragon's Dogma, Kevin?
No.
Oh my god.
It's great.
Oh my god. Like that's one of my all-time favorites.
I mean, okay. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's Capcom developed. It's that Eastern interpretation of like Western fantasy. You know, like Dragon Quest or even Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I do like that. I think that it's fun to see Japan. I feel like Japan does medieval stuff almost better than like the West does in a way.
Yeah, they have such like a
very very heavy
style.
Berserk inspiration in Dragon's Dogma.
Okay, cool. Well, that's
people have been saying the same about Final Fantasy 16, which is interesting.
Yeah, my friend was telling me earlier the same thing. He's like, oh, it's like Berserk light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it kind of evokes that tone because it's dark for Final Fantasy, but it's not nearly as like cruel or unforgiving as the world of Berserk gets.
Probably many things these days are not.
Maybe we should be thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
With Dragon's Dogma, actually, it kind of has ties to Final Fantasy 16 because, what's his name? Ryota Suzuki, the combat director for Devil May Cry, has worked on both games, and I feel like in Final Fantasy 16, it's like really obvious to feel that influence if you've ever played the DMC, like just the combat controls of having like your melee map to one and then your range. You have the stinger, you got like all the moves from Devil May Cry, which was a pleasant surprise. And then with Dragon's Dogma, also similar thing. You have just like straight up lifted move sets from Devil May Cry.
You can climb on an ogre.
It's very, very pleasant. Yeah. All right. And then I guess closing up, what's your favorite soundtrack from a JRPG? Song or whole soundtrack in general?
Gonna have to think about that for a sec.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a lofty question. Yeah.
Probably The World Ends With You.
If you have a composer too, yeah, I'll take that as well.
Well, we'll just say Yoko Shimomura.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, unless we've got anything more to say, I'd say we're ready to wrap this episode up.
All right. Any chance you want to place a bet? Kevin, you want to get in on this?
You guys, the stakes are too high. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to shave off one of your eyebrows and then
Yeah.
assault someone in traffic. Yeah.
It's like there wasn't a fucking Nintendo didn't tweet about Pikmin.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's fun. It's exciting. Keeps you on your edge. You know.
That is true.
Thank you so much for coming on the episode today,
Yeah,
Kevin.
thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
An honor to be the first guest of your show.
Yes, our first guest. If you want to plug your social media, where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, I'm on. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and now Blue Sky. At Kevin
Blue
Podas.
Sky.
Yeah,
There you
Blue
go.
Sky. It's the new Twitter. It's okay. It's like
Okay.
the same thing, but with less people and no Elon Musk. So, you know.
A healthy alternative, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it's it's not that different, but yeah, you can follow me on if you have a Blue Sky, you can follow me there. Obviously, Twitter, Instagram at Kevin Podas. Thought Cops, we're on hiatus. We might be coming back soonish, I think. You can find us on any podcast platform: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We got all of our stuff is out there. We've been doing it for a long time, so yeah, check us out.
Yeah, you got a healthy backlog of Thought Cops to catch on if you've not started on it.
300, and I think we're just kind of like, okay, we have to go on hiatus. How are we gonna do it right? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's just plenty to catch.
Working on that musical episode. I know.
Oh yeah, I do want to do that. That would be a lot of fun. It's just like that. I mean, man, we'll see what happens.
All right. You can find me at the Super Samicom on Twitter. I think that's really the only social media I have. But please subscribe to us on Spotify. Leave us a rating. Leave a question, or join the Discord because it'd be great to engage with more of you.
You can ask all these questions to us or future guests if we do that. Maybe Kevin again if he didn't hate this too much.
Yeah, I'll be back. Happy.
Nice. You got it. You got that, Sam. You got that.
Excellent.
You recorded that, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. And then Nick, where can they find you?
I'm somebody stop me. That's me with two eyes. Somebody stop me like the mask on everything. I'll be on Twitch wearing a costume and making a pizza or something, or I'll be on Twitter. Probably not saying anything, but I'm on there also.
Yeah. We have been Video Ditch. This is episode 11 on June 25th, 2023. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
See it.
Bye.
All right.